Hey everybody, hope you guys are all having a great day. Today we're going to be looking at the Bitcoin monthly, weekly, and daily chart so you guys have some historical context of what's actually going on now. A lot of you guys have been asking me how far we're going down. Well, I'm going to tell you how far we can go down or if we're at a major level of support, all that good stuff. So by the end of this video, you guys will have a great understanding of the possibilities for Bitcoin. So no matter which way we go from here, you guys are going to have an opportunity to make some good money, especially if you guys are trading using leverage. Right now we have the monthly chart for Bitcoin. Looks pretty simple, not much going on here. We're currently holding support above the 20 moving average on the monthly chart. Below that, you can see we have this neckline here, this orange line on the top. That is currently at 28,800, and that's because we are currently in a double top pattern. Top one, top two, neckline right here. I'll probably put a little image on the side so you guys can see what I'm talking about. We don't want to break down below this 28,800 level, first of all. If that does happen, we're most likely going to come down to our next level of support, which is all the way down here at $19,891. That is the high from over here in 2018, 2017, and also a level of resistance that we had in late 2020, early 2021 here. 20,000 for Bitcoin, it's not really a bad thing. What'll most likely happen for you guys is your altcoins will crash in that meantime, and that'll be a pretty drastic effect on you guys. And most likely here, we are going to fall down below the 20. The last few times we've had some really great rallies, we've fallen down. What is most likely going to happen here is we're going to come into contact with this 50 moving average on the monthly chart, which is right around our neckline. So I think 20,000 is a pretty good idea. All right, so next, let's see what happens here on the weekly chart. Now here we have the weekly chart. This is where you can start to get a little bit more optimistic, but overall bearish, but there's a little bit more hope on this chart than you guys saw on the monthly chart. Now, let's take this, step by step. Now we can draw some trend lines up here. We do have a level of support. This white line here, this trend line that we're looking at, this is not coming from this point here and this point here. This is coming from this connection. Tap one, tap two, it extended and it held over the last few weeks as we did have this little bit of a crash here. Now, an optimistic sign that we may be able to have is if we manage to break out of this downtrend right here, we have the opportunity to come back up here and start testing out many levels of resistance. First of all, we need to test out 40,000, but pretty soon, if we're able to get above 40,000, we have the opportunity to get back up to 48,000. This will be a great play for altcoins. You would love to buy a lot of altcoins off of this. If you guys are buying altcoins right now, that's probably what you guys are hoping for. You're not really hoping for it to get all the way back up here, at least anytime soon, because right now there's just too many bag holders and they're going to weigh down the price here a little bit longer. Now, if we go back here and look at some historical data, you can see right here we have the 20 and the 50 moving averages on the weekly chart. Last time those bad boys crossed each other, they haven't done it yet. Last time they crossed, we came all the way down to the 200 weekly moving average, and the time before that they crossed the 200 weekly moving average. It looks like eventually over the next, let's just call it about a month from now, we are due for one of those. So we might have some short-term support, but as soon as that crosses, wait a few more weeks and we should be coming into contact with that 200 weekly moving average. And where is that? Well, guess what? It's pretty similar to where the 50 monthly moving average was, close to this neckline here of about support of about $19,800. Pretty darn close to it. Again, coming back down to $20,000. So that $20,000 is going to be a recurring theme in this video, unfortunately. But if you guys are patient enough, when that buying zone opens up between $20,000 to $24,000, feel free to buy as much crypto as you want to, because the possibility of us coming down here for an extended period of time below 20,000 before these necklines, it's not likely to happen. And so you guys should be pretty darn good. Just looking at historical data, we don't come below the 200 too much down here. Here, it was probably a max of 2 weeks down here with a lot of volatility. And if you bought anywhere close to this, a few weeks later, you were still making a lot of money, okay? So for now, imagine us in this nice ascending triangle. Of course, it's a little bit more bearish than we want it to be, but that's okay. We have support. You guys aren't really buying too much until we have the opportunity to break out. So the safest thing you guys could do is play the breakout if it occurs. If it doesn't occur, you guys are going to be looking at a great shorting opportunity that will most likely bring us back down to the neckline of 28,800. That can make you a good amount of money if you guys like to short. Now, let's check out the daily chart, a little bit more detail here. And now we have the daily chart. This gives you a little bit more support levels. I've added in here actually a level of Fibonacci. So right now, that current Fibonacci level that is our next level of support, it's going to be around 28,800, which also happens to be that neckline on that massive double top we were talking about earlier. So things are looking okay. We're trying to break out above the 20-day moving average right now. You can see we've actually tapped on it. It's reached my price target for now. If we are due for a pop, it should happen either later on today or tomorrow. If we don't, we're most likely going to get rejected by the 20-day moving average. But if we're able to break out above the 20-day moving average, this gives us a golden opportunity to actually have a course reversal for Bitcoin. Forget about 20,000. Forget about maybe coming back down to 30,000. This would be a great thing for us going forward here. But in order for that to happen, we have to first break out above that 20-day moving average. Then we can focus on breaking above this blue line here, that breakout level. We got to be careful because, of course, what are the levels of resistance above us? We have an old Fibonacci level that's going to be a pain in the butt. We have the 50-day moving average, which is going to be a pain in the butt. And ultimately, we have that 200 daily moving average, which is going to be a pain in the butt. It'll be very, very hard to get above all these. And, of course, remember what we talked about during the weekly charts? We still have that death cross looking, looming pretty close by. So we could always pop up, hit the Fibonacci level, then ultimately come back down for a pretty nasty move. So keep everything in context here. All of these charts work together. Sometimes, things may be postponed a little bit, but overall, Bitcoin is still pretty bearish for the foreseeable future. But if we're able to break out, we have an opportunity to turn that bearishness into bullishness. All we need to do is consolidate for a certain, about a month or so, then really start to rally back up. I would really say this overall downtrend would be over if we can just get back above the 200 here and have a death cross. It's not likely to happen anytime soon, but that's really what you guys are going to be hoping for. If you guys are looking for all-time highs, $100,000 Bitcoin, some of those mega amounts that other YouTubers have been predicting. I'm a little bit more practical than them. But for now, guys, your best thing that you guys can do if you guys don't want to do the small day-to-day moves of Bitcoin would really be just to hold on to your cash, wait for a few things to happen. A breakout to occur off this blue line, a breakdown of the Fibonacci level right here, because that'd be a short, long from here, or if we end up crashing all the way back down to $20,000, about 20,000 to 24,000, you can buy a bunch down there, and I'd even suggest, if you guys haven't already, make an account with BitGet. I have them down below. They have paper trading for if you guys like to do leverage, so you guys can practice trading with leverage, basically. So you guys are prepared to buy with leverage at this ultimate support level, because if it falls down here, that launch off will be astronomical. And for most of you guys, if you guys don't need the money right away, you guys can open a position with anywhere from 5 to 20x leverage, depending on you guys' experience. Some of you guys may even go up to 125 if you guys have the big cojones. But you guys will be able to hold that for as long as Bitcoin continues to go up, and that may eventually be all-time highs. So you guys could be looking at tens of thousands of percent if you guys manage to buy it right here. Now, of course, if you guys do want to do that strategy, you guys aren't going to be buying all at once. You guys are going to be buying all, at multiple levels, going to be scaling into the position because of how high risk that is. So unless you guys are very knowledgeable about leverage, I'd only start off with a small amount. But, 5x leverage, if Bitcoin soars another couple 100%, you guys are certainly looking at thousands of percent back just off of 5% leverage. But the goal is to buy down here around 21,000. And just as a heads up, if we do hit 20,000 or anywhere close to that, you will see a traumatized market. Everybody will be freaking out. YouTubers will be crying all over the place. A lot of people will be banking that we hold certain levels. It'll be a very, on the greed fear index, it'll be massive fear. That's going to be the best time to buy, in my opinion. So we'll leave it at that. But right now, guys, be patient. There's not really much you can do right now unless you guys look to do some day trading. Find some altcoins that you like. Look at those altcoins, and if over time, those altcoins are going to be the ones that move down the most and move up the most. So find some things on CoinMarketCap, page number 5 to number 8. Anything under a $200 million market cap is going to be a very good play in the future, but don't buy them until Bitcoin at least hits this first level of support around 28,800, or if Bitcoin goes all the way back down close to the $20,000 range. Thanks, everybody, and I hope you guys subscribe.